Hello everyone, this is Arafellin playing Hugo's House of Horrors. Last time when I played Enchanter, I mentioned that one thing that people did after that, when adventure games continued to develop, was they augmented it with graphics. I mentioned specifically Sierra's King's Quest series. This is another game in the similar kind of vein. As you can see, you have your character, you can walk around. You have some music and sound effects going. So the story here is Hugo. He has a girlfriend, Penelope. She was gone missing. She was last seen going on a babysitting assignment at this creepy-looking house. So he's come to investigate. To start with, we have this little pumpkin here. It looks kind of suspicious, so we'll examine it. There appears to be something inside it. Let's open the pumpkin. Okay. So as you can see how this grew out of the fully text interactive adventure games. You have your commands that you type in at the bottom of the screen to interact with things. Most of the things you do are you get a response in text form. The graphics may also be affected, like there, the pumpkin disappeared, the key appeared. So with that key, we can unlock the door, open the door. There we go. You can get inside as long as you don't run into the door frame. That is one problem with this type of game where you have the walking around, is they can be very finicky about exactly where you are. If you want to interact with something like picking up this candle, you need to be close enough to it, or the game will complain that it's too far away. I'm going to save here. I'll call this the lobby. So, look. Okay, the hall. It sounds like there's something going on in the room to the right. There's a flight of stairs to the left. No one's noticed us yet. Let's go into the room with all the activity going on and see how they respond. Oh. This looks like something out of the Monsters. It looks like we have a vampire there. Not sure what the woman is exactly, but she seems kind of undead. There's what looks like a wraith, maybe a Chewbacca at the bottom there. Careful, chop, sir. Very good, sir. Yeah, just a moment. You're not one of us. You're a blooming interloper. Come here, you little blighter. I'm going to chop your head off. Yeah, that was a bad idea. Okay, restore rather than load. One of the problems with a text parser is they can be very picky about how you phrase things. Like in this case, the game understands restore but not load. Sometimes they'll be finicky about how you name things. They can be picky about the exact ways you phrase things. Here's a mad professor who's been looking for an experiment subject. Let's step into the box and see what happens. This sounds like a great idea. Igor, press the blue button. And Igor presses the red button. Even though he's nowhere near any of the buttons. But, yeah. Now Hugo is shrunk. This is actually important, as I recall. I believe it lets you get behind this sliding door and pick up something from the table. Okay, take the bong. What is the bung for? I forget. It's sort of round and rubbery. Okay. So this has a few conveniences. You have F3 can bring up the last line you typed in, so you don't have to retype it. F4 and 5 save and restore instead of typing those in if you want. F6 is what I was looking for. There's your inventory. I believe if you actually type in inventory, the game doesn't understand it, which is kind of weird. Like, why not just have it be an alias for F6? And being this short, it can't reach the door handle. This does wear off after a little while. And the bung is important for something. But anyway, Hugo's House of Horrors is a lesser-known adventure game in the same vein as King's Quest, Space Quest, Police Quest, all that from Sierra. There are actually 3 games in the series. This first one, you have Hugo rescuing Penelope. The second one, Hugo and Penelope are visiting someone or other at a mansion when Hugo goes missing, and Penelope has to go find him. And then the third one kind of comes out of nowhere. They're flying a plane over the tropics and it crashes on an island. And yeah, I'm not quite sure where they were going with that, but yeah. I don't really feel like waiting around until this wears off, or maybe you have to go back in the box. Well, in any case, this has been Arafellin briefly playing Hugo's House of Horrors. Come back next time for another game in this same general vein, but one that I'm more familiar with and have played more.